Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to do some Ever Crisis today. We're going to do some Persona 5 the Phantom X. Going to be doing Guild Battle for the 1, just to get myself a little warmed up and to show off some like lower cost or lower budget teams for Guild Battle 22. And then we're going to do, what's it called? Sea of Souls for Persona 5 the Phantom X, which is more of a high score challenge or a damage ranking for the folks that are familiar with the Ever Crisis stuff. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice start to the weekend. We're actually just going to hop right into it here because I do not know how long my body's going to hold up, and I want to go and get this stuff moving. Obviously, I'll still be streaming my official attempts tonight over on Twitch. Which, for folks who are watching the VOD or here live and don't know what the Twitch channel is, it's in the description of the live stream here, so you can just check the description below. We'll be streaming those at 10 p.m. Eastern. We show off the thing that we've learned, show off the new team that's the high-end team, and then the goal for today is to just spend the better part of like an hour going over some like lower budget strategies that don't play around reprieve, which I'm gonna have to like actually build that kind of team together before we can actually like guarantee that it'll work. So, but that's the goal, is to hopefully build something that can help some folks that don't have access to reprieve or don't have access to Abraxas, because this first flare that comes through, man, is brutal, especially for new players. It's brutal. So just trying to find ways to help folks have some more fun with it. And then once I feel like we've gotten enough done, we'll switch over to Persona for the rest of the afternoon. For folks who are relatively new and don't know, make sure that you're cooking these elemental materials that have the sigil breaks on them. These ones are guaranteed to get you ice potency, so make sure that you're cooking these in the synthesis thing there. Yeah, that first hit is wild. It definitely is. I think I have something that will at least help, but we'll have to jump into it and find out. So really quickly, I'm just going to showcase the strategy that we came up with the sigil breaks in mind. It involves using Zac, unsurprisingly. This one, much like the other build, is meant to just tank that first hit and use the Abraxas reprieve to go back to full. And then afterwards, Aerith is basically just here to make sure that Tifa has her magic attack up and that she's getting some bonus damage with Lightning's Rod. This Lightning's Rod, it really needs to be OB6 for this strategy to shine and to see its ceiling. But if you don't have it at OB6, I was able to get a much higher percentage, even using OB0 Lightning's Rod here. Again, this is whenever we see Magic Ice, Lightning's Rod is just going to be one of the options for Magic Ice moving forward, like we talked about when this first came out. So don't feel like this is necessary for this upper end build. It's probably just fine. At OB0, I was able to get it done. Zac, surprisingly, because we were joking, for folks who were in the live stream on Wednesday, we were joking. It was just like, what are you going to do, main hand bouquet? And yeah, actually. Yeah, actually we are. And the reason why is because it gives the fire resistance, but we're also getting the level 5 break of physical defense up, which is giving a 40% boost to physical defense across the board. And the reason why that matters is because after that initial flare, the behemoth actually doesn't do any more magic attacks. It's all physical attacks at that point. So that's the reason why we're trying to tank that initial hit. We're just trying to get through that first hit, deal with it, and move on. And then everything else is just physically defense focused. I forgot to mention, for sub weapons for Aerith, these are all just selfish sub weapons to increase Tifa's damage, is all I'm using there. Same thing for Zac. This is just to increase Tifa's damage. I do have Zac with a Blizzard materia just so he can do some damage, but none of it's like anything crazy. I do have him with his festive outfit, which means I pulled it off of the buff score. So my buff score is lower than it would otherwise be. This is not necessary, but I'm currently using Zac's his exchange ultimate weapon for the magic defense up. And because it's such a short duration, having access to Abraxas, which increases the duration of the debuffs, having access to his Gear C ability, which increases the stat debuffs on the opponents and adds duration to it, we'll be able to use that and keep it on for the majority of the last half of the fight, which is the goal there. Truthfully, you can probably just do it with a Braxis if you have a Braxis available, right? Because this adds an additional 20 seconds onto that debuff, which is massive, right? You get this off twice, and it's just getting an entire duration of an entire duration of that ultimate weapon cast, which is nice. And then Tifa is basically exactly the same as I was building her out on Wednesday, so nothing different here, just all ice damage. We've got more supportive, or just, I'm sorry, selfish R abilities here to try to increase her DPS as best as possible. The difference here is I did take off the iced potency effect because I currently have Aerith running Citric Wand for ice potency up, because I'm only using it on Tifa at this point. So this is how the build goes. So I'm just gonna run this really quick, and then we're gonna go straight into the low budget builds. I'll do this again tonight, obviously with more detail. I just wanted to go over it quickly so folks can start mocking it now if they'd like. But essentially pretty easy stuff here. We're just gonna go in and click Enchanting Rose. We're gonna go ahead and put the ice resist down, put Enliven on, and then we're going to switch to defense mode. You actually don't have to switch to defense mode here. You can just take this. Switching to defense mode is just a habit at this point. We're going to be putting the ice buff onto Tifa. Important to stay off of manual here, because the idea here is that we're just going to do DPS. And so now Tifa's just going to go ahead and start doing damage. Zach's going to keep casting this. Aerith's only goal here is to just continuously heal. You can see we're taking quite a bit of damage here, but the heals are coming through. At this point, we can use Zach's ultimate weapon right around now. Still full health, so we're good there to go ahead and keep hitting things. Now here, the last couple of times I've had to torpor so I wouldn't die. Which we might have to do again here. If I see him come through with another one, I'm just gonna click the things here so we don't get super got. This is why like having the Lightning's Rod at OB6 helps a lot, because that +3 physical defense with Enliven, you tank this a lot easier. But now we're probably just kind of doomed. We'll switch to defense mode. Yeah, we died. So yeah, so I have to use torpor in this second sigil phase in order for this to work. But again, it's just every time he uses that Blazing Frenzy attack, he takes more damage. He lowers his magic defense and physical defense down. So as long as you're able to keep the physical defense up, you'll be fine. And you can see here, even that 3.29% is near where we maxed out with the teams that we were running on Wednesday. And I didn't even break the sigil break phase in this fight. So yeah, definitely a tough one though. It's definitely a lot of min-maxing, and you guys know how much I hate doing the min-maxing stuff. So that's not my thing. But we're going to be building some low-budget teams here today. And the idea here is that we're going to be trying to limit how many ultimate weapons we're using, how many limited weapons we're using, how many limited gears we're using, and just try to keep things mostly in the featured pool. The easiest person to put on this team to start with is Matt. Matt is almost required for this fight. The reason why is because his customization for an Nautilus Spiral gives him fire damage down. And this is required at the higher stages, and less so at the lower ones. You can probably survive that first flare on stages 1 and 2. Stage 3 is where you start to see like that damage number creep into like the 20,000 range, and you're really going to have to start considering fire resist down, fire defense up, things like that. So I am going to be using Nautilus Spiral. I'm also going to be bringing in the Centipede. Centipede is just a good heal and gives us that physical defense up. The truth is that I'm actually considering bringing in Prime Number instead for the bigger heal, because we're going to be using Barret on this team. You know, spoiler alert, I suppose, because that's going to take it off the buff score. But we're also going to be bringing in just Exchange Ultimate Weapons here. So this one just gives our entire team regen and gives us a 25% max HP heal, which is pretty good. The duration of the regen is super low, right? So that's not really where it's at. The real thing there is the 25% heal. For the limit breaks, we're going to get into that in a second, but basically Matt is either going to be running the gigantic shield to help us some defensive buffs, or just regular old summons or whatever you got, right? Not going to worry about any of the gear or anything yet. We're just going to go back over and we're going to build out our other side character, which is going to be Barrett. If you have Glenn and you have his Final Fantasy 13 weapon at OB0, this is still worth using, right? You're getting the magic defense debuff. You're getting Enfeeble. You can spade customization this for fire damage down to help get that fire damage down and get some consistent magic ice damage down. This is still good enough to use on Glenn. And then you can actually bring in something like, not that I would, you know, recommend it because there's not a lot of single target attacks in this fight, but like Hurricane Strike is fine and at least gives HP gain to help keep your HP topped off. So like that's, Pirate's Glaive is fine as an offhand weapon. So if you do have Glenn, he's perfectly fine to use here. If you pulled on the Glenn banner, you almost should be using him here. Even at lower overboost levels, you'll probably be fine. But I am going to use Barrett. I'm going to use the Escutcheon Cannon. This is going to be our instance of magic attack up and magic defense up. This should help us survive that first attack. And then the next weapon here, it's going to come down to what you have available. If you do have Sunrise Cannon, Sunrise Cannon gives your entire team a physical defense buff and increases your fire resist, which is actually really helpful for this fight. So I am going to do a quick YOLO pull on his, what's it called? His ticket banner to see if maybe we can like luck into a copy here. Not that I'm expecting it, but like, you never know, right? Okay, well, we got 3 5-stars, so did not get it. Okay, that's okay. Good pulse, though. So for the sake of conversation here, I'm actually just going to go ahead and use the weapon voucher and just grab one. Don't do this if you're at home. I'm just using this for your guys's learning, I guess is the best way to say it. So that way you can actually use some of these low budget options. You could have a copy of Sunrise Cannon because it's a featured weapon, but I'd rather have it available and use it as an example. Let's keep on the stage 5 fight. Okay, so we'll go back to Barrett. We take a Escutcheon Cannon. We're going to be using the Sunrise Cannon as well. I'll upgrade this really quickly as well. Obviously, because Barrett is one of the featured characters, he is going, your gear score is going to be a bit lower as a result, and that is absolutely fine, right? Absolutely fine. Losing one of those weapons is perfectly fine if you have a ton of other weapons, but the truth is that as long as you have something that's close to these 2 weapons and their overboost levels to replace it with, you're going to be just fine. So Satellite Beam gives a physical defense and a magic defense buff to the entire team, which is pretty useful. Obviously, the provoke here again is not super helpful, but it's there. So this is just a break in case of emergency button. Neither one of them has anything that I would even describe as like fully necessary. This magic defense debuff from Mind Blow might be helpful, so we'll keep that in mind. I'll just have that on for now. Again, whatever gear you have available for your characters, if you've got the Rebirth one available with Reprieve, you can use that. I'm just going to be using the Electro Armor because this only gives him some defensive stuff, right? Which isn't anything super crazy. And then for the rest of the materia, we'll talk about that once we get our DPS done. Our DPS in this case is likely just going to be Cloud. We've talked about this before with limited characters, but if you have their limited options available at higher overboost levels, just replace the character with that character, right? Pretty easy. Cut and dry, put them in. So we already have ice resistance down. We already have physical defense up. We've got magic defense up. We've got fire resistance up. We've got fire damage down on the other guy. And so like right now we're working with a pretty decent squad. And we really just need some way to increase our own magic attack and decrease their magic defense. And that just screams Cloud. Cloud's Full Throttle does both of those things for you automatically by just casting it on an enemy that's weak to that effect. And I'm blind. There it is. So you're getting that magic attack increase. You're getting the magic defense decrease. And if you have Fusion Sword at OB0, this is a perfectly good offhand weapon. It's going to increase that damage by 20%, 25% even at OB0. And then you're also going to get an exploit weakness as well, which is just, again, just really solid, right? A 25% boost to both is a 50% boost to total damage. That's very, very good. Again, we're going to be just using the Exchange Ultimate Weapon. Cloud will be our holder of Diamond Dust because he's going to be doing the main DPS here. I'm just going to equip his, we'll just do the most recent one, I guess, because it doesn't have Reprieve. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Just for the sake of conversation, right? All right, so first things first, we're going to give Cloud all of our top tier ice potency materia. So 1, not that one, misclicked, 2, and then 3. We're not super concerned about the sigil boost slot yet. If we have to worry about that, we will, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. At this point now, we're trying to just maximize Cloud's DPS, so we're going to be going in and grabbing the Cathpalug. This will max out his magic attack and get his ice potency to a good breakpoint, which is what we're looking for. And again, we're looking for largely selfish R abilities for the DPS. So we're going to try to be getting anything that can help Cloud do more damage. And Barret and Matt are not doing a ton of damage here, so I'm not super concerned about increasing their stats with magic attack all allies. So what I will do is I will give Cloud 1 physical defense all allies weapons, because I think this is probably going to be necessary. And so I'm going to give him probably the bouquet. And then we're going to give him the just the best attack weapon that I've got with magic ability potency, which should just be slot off GS. Yes. Okay. Then again, whatever you have in the back, just throw on whatever you have in the back for sub gear. Neither one of those is going to help us like survive or do any more damage in this fight, right? And then for Barret, we're going to make sure that he has at least an ice materia so he can do some damage here. I believe this is a circle sigil slot, so we can put the circle sigil down there for Barret, which is perfectly fine. We'll just give him 2 other ice materias here, which is absolutely fine as well. These are going to be strictly supportive effects. So we're looking for magic attack all allies, attack all allies, or I'm sorry, physical defense all allies, and magic defense all allies. Because remember, the goal here is to try to build a roster that is going to be able to, let's do this one, survive that flare is the hope, right? And so with that in mind, we're going to be doing a magic attack all allies and a buff debuff extension to make sure that Barret's buffs stay on for longer. We're going to be looking at the physical defense buff here. I don't think any of them have fire resistance besides the bouquet, which I put on the DPS on purpose. So let's go ahead and just give Mop for physical defense, and we'll give the headphones for magic defense. Again, for sub equipment here, just put on whenever you have available. I'm just going to do the exchange shop gear and his base gear for the sake of conversation. It looks like Barret's going to be my primary sub DPS, I suppose. So I'm going to give him Icy Judgment. And then for Matt, it's just going to be our healer at this point. So we're going to go ahead and give him all of our healing stuff. So we'll give him our top healing potency materias. Bop, bop, and bop. Don't need the cure because we've got prime number, so we're good there. Again, just going to give that exchange shop gear there, and then magic attack all allies, attack all allies, and or magic defense all allies, and then physical defense all allies. Doesn't really matter. That one's fine. And then I'm just gonna, for the sake of conversation, we're just gonna leave that because I'm not gonna put any of the reprieves on. The no reprieves. All right, so now we're good. We've got our team built out. We've got most of our stuff covered. Let's go ahead and go over our score, go to auto formation and post it up. We're at level 77. Grab a Memoria, which is going to be the Memoria of Stilva for now, right? For now. We might have to change this because we may need the extra magic defense. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's go ahead and equip this for now. This is our better option, and this is our squad. So now we're going to go ahead and go into a mock. This is a stage 5 fight, so this is probably too high for a team like this to be able to survive. But we're going to try our best and see what happens. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to immediately lower its fire attack. And we're going to put our magic defense up as high as we can, and we're going to get our exploit weakness up. And so now we're probably going to die to this first attack here, but I just want to see and see what we're working with. Okay, Barret did not die, which is good. The other two did, which means their HP is too low, which is fine. So now we can start adjusting, right? Let's hop back out of this. There is a world where we give Barret something that has ATB boost, and that would help a lot. And truthfully, I think if I brought in Matt's ultimate weapon on this, it would probably change this fight dramatically, because Matt's ultimate weapon has ATB boost on it. Let's go ahead and hop back into this really quickly, and then let's go into Barret. Let's try to take off his physical defense weapon that we gave him, and let's give him ATB boost. The best option for this is likely going to be the Nail Bat. Because it gives ATB boost and fire resistance. We can also customize this with guild medals if we really wanted to. I don't think that's necessary at this point. If I level this up, am I going to get it more than the 3 ATB? I am not. So this is going to just stay as is. Okay. So let's go into it one more time here and see. I want to see if getting that fire resistance up is going to be enough to help, and getting that extra 3 ATB at the beginning of the fight will help Barrett a lot. Okay, so same deal here. We're going to magic defense up, fire resistance down, or fire damage down, and fire resistance up. And let's see if this helps. So we've only got +1 fire resist here. Okay, still did about 21,000 to Barrett. So we're not that far off, right? And remember that this is for the stage 5 fight too. Let's try to knock this down to the stage 4. I bet you in stage 4 we probably survive at this point. Let's drop out into the stage 4 fight and see. If this doesn't work, I have a backup plan for the Memoria that might help us here. Okay, so same thing. Fire damage down, magic defense up. Okay, defense mode. So this is the stage 4 flare. Okay, we don't survive that either. We're doing, it did about 17,000 to Barrett, but it still killed Cloud and Matt. So that's likely because of Barrett's gear then, it's keeping him up. So back to the stage 4 fight. We're going to go back into this, grab a Memoria. Obviously, this Memoria is not going to help us in terms of total DPS, but it does give us more physical defense and more magic defense, which is more than any of the other Memorias can provide, except for the most recent one that just released with the critical threat event that's going on right now. I believe that one is magic. I think it's magic water, which obviously, again, does not help us for this fight in particular from the DPS side. But right now, the goal is to survive, right? We're just trying to find a team that can survive. There we go. Flare comes through. And we do survive this time. Okay, that's huge. Okay, and now for the rest of this fight, we actually should be just fine. So the goal here is to just make sure the Cloud's doing as much damage as possible. Matt's just going to keep us topped off. Look, we're barely taking any damage at this point. And Cloud's just going to primarily just use DPS here. Now, obviously, your damage is going to be really low because we're using a Memoria that's not good for our damage. We're using a Memoria that's better for our survivability. But if you're not able to survive those initial attacks, this is an easy way to make sure that you're able to survive those attacks, right? This is something that is all featured weapons except for the Fusion Sword, which again, you can just have at OB0. That is not a necessity. Just making sure that Barrett keeps all of our buffs on for now. We do need to lower its fire damage or fire potency here, which I'm noting. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that we do that with Matt. And now here, we're probably good to start breaking sigils here. It's getting a little scary. Yeah, see, I should have broke sigils here. That's fine. So that's the point there, right? We're definitely gonna come in and make sure that we break sigils on this phase in particular, and we can actually use Matt and Barrett's overspeeds to make sure that those go down, because their overspeeds are not important for the sigil break phase. But there you go. So this is a team that I think is pretty recreatable in general. Again, you're better off using specifically the Memoria that's coming from the newest critical threat, but you'll be able to survive that initial shot that comes through. And the reason why we're using this team in particular, by the way, remember that the Scutching Cannon was one that we got for free for 2nd anniversary. So if you've been playing since the 2nd anniversary, you have this at a high overboost level, which is nice. If you've got the, if you've been playing at all since the 2.5 anniversary, you've got Nautilus Spiral at OB10 because this was one of the free customization weapons that we got available, right? So you already have this at OB10, so you've got this available as well. Prime Number is one that you may not have at OB10, and so it's just whatever healing weapon you have available. And then again with Cloud, I'm not even using a thing that increases his ice damage. I'm using a water outfit. I'm using a less than OB10 weapon. I'm using his fusion sword. This is just the best option that I had for my magic ice in the featured pool. And the only limited weapon that we're using on this is fusion sword, which again is perfectly fine at OB0. This does not have to be at OB6 for this to work. And you'll at least be able to survive that initial hit, right? So like obviously Barrett's defenses are a lot higher than the other guys, but you can see everybody's up over 500 defense here at this point, which is great. One thing that I don't mention during the broadcast when we do things on Twitch, and something that I'll mention here on YouTube while we're streaming, is that a lot of this has to do with your, I clicked on the wrong thing. A lot of this has to do with not only your overspeeds and the levels in the overspeeds, it also has to do with your high wind. So if you are a relatively newer player and you're seeing that I'm hitting numbers that you can't even like come close to, it is almost certainly because I have everything overboosted in the high wind collection. Now I don't have everything maxed out in this, so like some of the numbers are a little bit lower than they would otherwise be. But anything that increased the defenses of my team, you'll notice are leveled up pretty high, right? It's like the Tifa one gives us physical defense, that's leveled up pretty high. We've got plus 80 on the magic attack boost, plus 80 on the power or the physical attack or boost. The talisman here I think is maxed out as well. It is. We got the champion belt at a high overboost level, which I believe this is also maxed out. It is. And so you're seeing like this is where a lot of my stats are coming from. If you don't have these things super overboosted, you're probably going to struggle with getting to those numbers. And so you just kind of have to adjust expectations and adjust your ceiling, right? If you can't get to those defensive levels, then you know you have to drop down to stage 3 or stage 2, etc. So let's jump into the stage 5 fight with this same exact team and see if we're able to survive the stage 5 hit. Because if we are, then I think this team would work for most players. Because again, I am not using any reprieves. I am not using a lot of like the gear that I have available for these 3 characters, which means you should be able to recreate this using your account and what you have available. The big thing here is just being able to hit, survive this beginning and this opening flare. So we just switch to defense mode here. It's going to be close. Okay, we did survive though. Okay, so if this survived, then we should be perfectly fine. The one thing I will mention is that this will almost certainly require a investment in, breaking the second sigil phase instead of the third. Unless you're able to keep its fire damage down, which you absolutely can, right? You absolutely can, because that's all Matt should really be doing anyways. You're seeing the AoE damage come through. We lowered its fire damage back down again. We lowered all the way back down to 0. Cloud's just using DPS here. Barrett's keeping our buffs on. Fire damage is still down, so we're just going to heal back to full here. I'm going to use Cloud's ultimate weapon just because I can. Make sure that we're keeping that fire damage down. We're going to use Matt's ultimate weapon here just to get our HP back up. Going to give us a quick little regen as well. Barrett's getting our magic attack back up. So actually we're looking okay right now. So now we're going to chill, because this part is where we're going to need to go into semi mode and immediately start breaking all these sigils. All right, so let's just do it. Go into manual mode. Just start blasting. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and hit all of our limit breaks here. Obviously, this is out of order. I should have did Icy Judgment first, so the damage will be a little bit lower. Yeah. Okay, and then again, just focus in on damage now. Just do as much damage as you can. Okay, then we get our last attack off here. Not bad. Again, not good, right? This is using a lot of things that are like well below what you would have otherwise, but being able to deal 2 million damage and survive the flare. You're more than capable of surviving through the sigil break phases. This team works just fine, right? So again, if you don't have a lot of the higher options available, this is a perfectly usable team. If you can't, or if you do have some of the higher options, obviously, then you can just use some of the higher builds that are floating around out there. But the reason why this one works so well is because Cloud's weapon does magic attack up and magic defense down. It does not have enfeeble. It doesn't have weapon bonus damage. It doesn't have weapon boost. Well, it does have weapon boost, but it doesn't have like ice boost, right? So there's a lot of stuff missing from this. And truth be told, like, is it the best option? No, but if you're a newer player or you don't have a lot of the ice options in the game, this will at least let you clear the attempt, right? And provide some help to the guild battle if it's not something that you're able to, like, you know, hit the high ceilings, right? But we're just gonna call this low budget. And that at least gets the job done, right? So, and that, again, the Memoria itself, I'm using the physical attack one here. If you have the new one that just came out, which has more magic attack, that will be way better. And that one will actually allow you to have higher magic attack and still have those high defenses as well, which I think I'm actually pretty close to it, aren't I? Yeah. So this one will give you 1,000 magic attack while still getting those high defenses. So you can get this leveled up. If you've got stamina tonics, you can just go burn them by leveling up your Shiva, your Shiva and Ramu, and you can use those stamina tonics to help level this Memorial up, because those fights are really, really easy, and you should be able to auto battle those at this point. Most players should be able to auto battle that at this point. But yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. Like I said, it's definitely not perfect, but it at least gets the job done, and you're able to at least get the attempt done, and that's the goal, right? Is to just try to get the attempt done. And then, yeah, obviously we had the team that we landed on late Wednesday night. We've got this team that's gonna do decently well. This team is like a lot of min-maxing for me, though. I hate having to like lower the settings and jump between the, you know what I mean? I don't like to play like that in Ever Crisis. It's just too stressful and too high-strung for no reason, right? Because what am I getting out of this at the end of the day? What even is my guild getting out of that, right? For me to like jump between it like that. We're gonna get what, a couple of actually these rare guild medals, and that's it, right? Like maybe some brands. I'm good, man. Like, it's fine. They moved all the crystals into just doing your attempts, and we get so many of these guild medals at this point that it's cartoonish, right? It's cartoonish. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point with the 3,000, I think we're able to get multiple weapons to OB10. Because it starts at 10, and then once it goes to 200, this is as high as it gets for the cost. So like, I could OB10 Nail Bat right now. I could OB10 basically any weapon that I have at OB7. I could OB10 right now and still have guild medals left over. So don't stress about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's definitely a tough fight. It's definitely a difficult fight, but there are more than one ways to solve it, right? There is a way to survive this. There is a way to get through it. You just have to use the stuff that you have available to you, right? And again, if you have Glenn's Snow's Bardiche at OB0, you should still be fine in this fight. You would have to bring in a magic attack buff. So if you don't have his recently released weapon, if you didn't pull on the new banner and you don't have that weapon, you might have to bring something in that does magic attack up. But note that if you do have Snow's Bardiche and you do have that fire damage down, you can likely replace Matt with Aerith or with Red 13, right? And both of them have magic attack buffs that can help like get your damage up. And again, you only have to worry about the magic attack up if you're not using Cloud, because Cloud is self-sufficient. So, but it definitely gets the job done. Again, it's not going to be like huge damage numbers, but like even as an example, let's say you're struggling on stage 2 right now as a newer player. This team will do perfectly fine on stage 2. There's no way that flare even comes close, because if we're able to survive that stage 5 flare, there's no way the stage 2 flare will even tickle. Okay, so same thing here, magic defense up. Let's get our exploit weakness back on. Fire resist up. Then we go to Matt. We're just gonna wait for the flare to come through. Once the flare comes through, we switch to defense mode. We soak this attack. Should do about probably a half, maybe. Not even close. Look at that, not even close. This heal's gonna bring everybody back to full. Okay, make sure that we're not breaking the sigils here. I'm gonna go back to manual just for a brief bit. Again, just make sure that that fire resistance or fire damage is going down with Spiral Edge. Go ahead and use Healing Shower just to heal ourselves back up. Use a little bit of damage here with Barret. Yeah, look at that. It barely did any damage to these three. We're so tanky at this point. You could probably even start removing some of the defensive stuff that we have on, because this is almost overkill at this level. So you could probably even remove Barret for a more offensive option here on stage 2. But like, this is more than capable of surviving stage 2 and dealing some really significant damage. We could actually probably greed this into a 4th phase. If there's a 4th phase available. I've never gone past the 3rd, so. Make sure all of our resistances are up. Make sure we get the exploit weakness back down for Cloud. We're still super safe here. Not even remotely in danger. Okay, yeah, it's better to break that second bit. Oh, that is the last one that we get. Okay, so there you go. So you got to break up the 3rd. Now we know. But yeah, so that one we weren't even in any remote danger. Not only did the flare barely do any damage to us there, but we were not in any danger of even needing a heal during the individual strikes there. And Cloud was doing almost 5% on his own, right? So that, in that case, you just pull back on some of the defensive buffs, right? You can put the better Memoria back on. You can adjust to whether you need Barret or not. Maybe you can take Barret out and put a more offensive character in, and then you would just change out. Maybe you change out Prime Number with Daryl Platis if you have it available, because this does a heal and a magic defense buff. So you'd be able to still have that magic defense buff while giving yourself that heal, which is nice. And it's a 4 ATB heal on top of that, so it makes it a little bit easier to cast it repeatedly. But yeah, so just like try to do something like this with your account. Try to like balance it as best you can. You know, do what you can to try to like increase your damage as you can, and just try to have fun with it, right? Like with every guild battle, the goal is to try to have fun with it. If you don't have the top options available, don't be frustrated that you don't have the top options available. Just find something that works, right? There's more than enough magic ice options in this game that even if you didn't have Cloud, by the way, who is again self-sufficient with his own buffs, you could still use Yuffie here and her exchange ultimate weapon. Her exchange ultimate weapon has magic attack, right? It gives her a magic attack buff. So she has the ability to get her own magic attack up. Tifa has the ability to get her own magic attack up with the tornado shot ultimate weapon exchange that she has available. I forget what the actual ultimate weapon is. I think it's like leather combat gloves or something, or leather gloves. But yeah, and one last thing that I'll note is, as you're doing your team construction and you're doing your roster construction, make sure that you try to utilize and bring in any ultimate weapon 2 members that you have in your roster. So like, as an example, I currently have way more than I ought to, if I'm being honest. I've gotten extraordinarily lucky with my pulls the last couple of months. But over the last couple of months, I have pulled, I think, 4 of the attacker role ultimate weapons, the UW2s. Yes, I have 4. So I've got Sephiroths, I've got Tifa's, I've got Zax's, and I've got Vincent's. So let's say if I only had Tifa's as an example, right? Tifa increases her damage by such a significant margin just from using this alone, and the Elemental Arcanum, the extra 30% that you're giving to your entire team. Those numbers are massive. And the truth is that even if you have like her Lightning's Gloves at OB0, you might see her do way more damage just because you have this available. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind. Try to like fit your UW2 users into your roster if you can. Yeah, cheers. I'm glad it helps. I'm glad it helps. So hopefully folks that are more like the video watchers, they'll find this afterwards, and hopefully it'll help them too. And again, I'll go over it tonight too, and I'll probably try to include something from maybe tonight's or today's stream in the video that I upload tomorrow when I do my official attempts. But I'm still not 100% on what I'm gonna do just yet, because I know that this team is better, and I know this is what I should be using, but I hate doing this. It's just it's so stressful, man. And at that point, it's almost like, wait, is it worth it? Right? Like, truly? Because right now, I'm not even using Zach's ultimate weapon because I need something that does magic defense down, right? And so my other option is to bring in a mana breach and then play around that. And I think that's probably where I'm gonna land. I think I'm gonna try to just soak the first sigil phase, break the second one, use all of the summons, use Zach's ultimate weapon, use the summons again, and try to like get the most damage out of that phase, and then just move on. I think that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm gonna mull it over and play with it a little bit more this afternoon before stream tonight and figure out where I'm at. But I think that's probably where I'm gonna sit. Oh man. Fuck ass MRI, my fucking chest hurts, dude. Sorry. Is there anything else I wanted to go over for the guild battle, for the low budget stuff? I think that kind of covered my point, right? I don't think we need to go into this too much deeper. Because again, like, you can easily slot in Yuffie here. You can slot in somebody else that does magic defense up and magic attack up. Like, the truth is that you really only need single target magic attack up, right? Because there's only going to be one DPS on this team at the end of the day. So you could just use Yuffie and then have somebody that has magic defense up all allies and then a single target magic attack up, you know, like Aerith, and it would work just fine. So it should work. Solid though. I'm actually glad that worked out so well too, because that'll be something that at least some of the newer players will be able to mimic, and then hopefully apply it to their to whatever they've got available. Oh god. I think I'm down to just switch to Persona now. I think we got that down. I'm feeling pretty confident. Can play some P5X for a bit. The P5X ones are so fun, man. And not to shit on the Ever Crisis things, because I do enjoy the Ever Crisis stuff too. But it's just so fun to mess around in the Sea of Souls in the Persona game. Oh man. I notice. What am I noticing? Maintenance on April 29th. Okay, so there's a new banner dropping on the 30th. Okay, cool. Dope. I think the expectation from the community is that there's going to be a new navigator coming out next week, which is going to be fun. Navigators in this game are usually like as close to auto pulls as it gets in Persona, but did I do Companio yet? I think I did. I did. Great. Yeah, it should be fun. I can probably do better on that, but that's the equivalent of the guild battle, by the way, the Nightmare Companio that I just showed. It has a very similar reward structure as the guild battle in Ever Crisis does. So like the effort level doesn't need to be at the highest you can be, I'll be honest. Okay, so let's go into the Sea of Souls. We'll do the Astrolabe today too if I'm feeling it. Or Astrolabe, sorry. Oh no, we're gonna rank down. Oh, because I haven't tried this yet. That makes sense. Alright, see what we're working with. We've got, when allies other than Wonder deal physical or almighty damage with skills, all allies gain cellular crystallization. Cellular crystallization increases final damage by 40% for 2 turns. This is obviously pretty good. This one, they're looking for almighty damage, so we're going to bring in the twins for that one, which will be pretty easy to use. And then the second one is all ally curse damage. Interesting. So this will be Joker then, for sure. I wonder which team would do better for me. I think I'm leaning towards the twins, but I don't know if their almighty damage is that high to like be that excited about it. I think you resist bless, right? Yeah. And the other guys do too? They do not. Okay. Oh, these are the same ones as last week, isn't it? Aren't these the same exact fights? Oh, Clemo. Okay, I think I lean towards the curse damage team being better. So I think I'm going to use... Well, Futaba is not super necessary in that fight, though, right? I guess we'd use Futaba here. We'll do the twins, and then I want to keep one of the good supports for Joker's team, just so we can get some decent damage over there, rather than try to maximize their DPS here. I think I'm going to have some defensive debuffs here. Which would mean that we would bring in Wind Vest for... Oh, can the Almighty skill crit, though, is the question. I don't actually know if it can. I assume it can't, right? We're going to be using Innocence and Luck and critical hit rate by 15%. Okay. Yeah, because I imagine that crit mult's probably not super necessary here, right? If I can't crit on that Almighty skill, which I don't think I can. So maybe here we run Matoy and a healer. With Futaba. Because this will give us some defensive debuffs. And the Almighty damage is going to be coming from the twins, so I don't have to worry about the damage buff. I can just let them deal with it. I could bring in On, I guess, for just some like AoE fire damage and some regular like overall DPS down. I don't mind that either, actually. And with Matoya, I think I'd probably have enough. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's do Starry Compass for the defensive buffs down. Let's do it's gonna be an AoE fight, right? So let's do you for sure. We probably want to have a defensive down target. And then I don't think increasing our summon damage here is, or our highlight damage here is going to help at all. We just want to try to do as much damage as we can. I could bring in Pendephalon for a shield, which might help. And then honestly, maybe I'd just bring in where's he at? This guy. Yoshitsune. Just do some damage. Do I not have anything better than a Lek boost? I guess I don't. And that way Wonder can do some damage here. I'm not convinced that this is the answer, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot. Whack. All right, let's see. Hello. I think we just Raccoonda. Let's go one. There's the Almighty attack. I shouldn't have used that. Okay. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I meant to click the twins there. Whoops. Do this. This will increase our damage with on. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. I might actually need PB for this run, or I might have to do the healer route like I thought before. These guys are doing a lot of damage. Let's do the shield here. Let's go 3. We'll skill 2. Then let's go 2 again. That'll go for the almighty attack. Definitely can't crit. I was right on that. Let's do as much damage as possible. Unlucky. These are the weaker AoE attacks, so it shouldn't even get through the shield. Yeah, looks like we're okay. Okay. So now we're going to do this on. And then Disaster Ward, I suppose, to decrease their defense. Let's go 1. Let's go 1. Go 1. We definitely die here. Unless we get a lucky dodge on one of these last 2 attacks. No, yeah, they're all dead. Okay. Okay. So this one's definitely a little too hard for my team as is. I think I have to bring a healer here, and we probably just bring Phoebe and go all in on the second stage instead. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Okay, so obviously I still need to save the twins for that second half, so we will. But let's just do Cord here, Joker, and then Rin. Let's do Futaba here. We're gonna use Ex Machina, and then I'm gonna steal this on this side, I think. But we're gonna use Alice. We're going to use Janosik can probably come on this side too, and then maybe we do Dionysus for crit buff. Maybe I can keep that on the other side. The curse damage up is kind of helpful, right? Because like that's what this one does as well. I don't have any way to proc the fire thing for that persona on this side though, unless I bring in something that's not this curse user, which I can do. May as well get her to 80. I use her enough. Not gonna bother with the Mindscape, but that actually doesn't match with Cord, because I think Cord is running the integrity set, right? Or reconciliation. Oh, actually, no, this works great. Perfect. I think this is good. Any more Kompaku gems? Am I missing? No. Alright, let's try the curse one. Okay. I think we just do die for me here. Joker. Unison? For distortion, rather. I made it stupid. Turbo should be on this team, not Cord. Let me just fix that now. You buffoon. You absolute buffoon. Turbo. There we go. This Turbo will give us that 40% damage increase, right? She does physical attack. Wow. Already way better, right? Nice. And this is before we even have buffs up. We're easily taking out the sides. Okay, so one. Three. What would be better here? Probably Raccoonda. It's gonna get a Mark 2, hopefully. Oh, the Mark 1 on the side. And this game hates me, and it always has. We do Ren, right? Huge hit there. I don't even think my Joker has good cards either. Just the wild part. Back to Alice. Okay. Joke. Your turn. Let's go on. This is the part where we can use Rebellion, right? Oops. 214,000 G's. Turbos. Wow, turbo killed the sides? Jesus. The other one on the left? Yes, sir. Thank you. That was close. Speed first, right? Yeah, I'm excited for Ange. For Ange. Anga. However it's said. And then power. I'm excited to use her. We're gonna get over 10. Not bad. Considering I don't have a catchy. Huge damage. Nice. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. The almighty ones, yeah. I don't think I have a better defensive debuffer than Matoi. Besides, like, I obviously Turbo does more buffs than debuffs, obviously, but like, it's just Matoi. So we run it. We should have no problem surviving here, right? Should. Right. So we're not gonna have, unless we get curse damage down. I don't think we can. So we probably just maybe just. I don't even need the shield though. I probably needed to change. Oh, I needed to bring in Cert here. Hold on. I had this when I was trying to do it. We're on fire, and we're not doing that this time. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, change wonders personas, yeah. Okay, so I'm still fine to bring in Sandephalon if we really think we need the shield, but I don't think we will. Let's bring in Dionysus. I already used Dionysus, so we have to bring in this one, Cert, and probably just Sandephalon, yeah, just to be on the safe side. I doubt we're gonna need it, but like, it's fine. I could do this. I think it would make me too slow though. Yeah, the twins would go first. Cringe. Can't do that. Can't be doing that. Star Compass it is. Okay, go. All right, try it again. All right, so it uses Garula first. We can Dosert Maracunda. Go on. Okay. Wow. I forgot to use this 2 shots at a time. I thought I was going to be able to get an all-out attack there. I was mistaken. This doesn't work with Almighty, does it? It just deals damage to a foe. This should be fine. Buddy. I can't pick you up right now. You just have to wait a sec. Let's go heat in here. Go 3. Highlight 2. Should do a decent chunk. That seemed really low. Oh, I didn't realize that that persona was weak to gun. Probably should use Cohesion first turn and Maracunda second then. One.
行くぞジュスティーナ。すぐに排除します。
I think that turn I probably just shoot with Wonder. Now that I'm looking at it. Make sure Wonder doesn't die.
そろそろ決めちゃう？やるな。ナイス回避。ぬるいぬるい。ナイス回避。やるな。ナイス回避。
Turns. 2 turns. Let's just do this one.
力を貸しましょう。
Almost forgot what turn it was.
動きづらくさせられちゃってる。最高のショー見せてあげる。裏には一緒に踊りましょう。見せてやろう。
It does increase almighty damage. Let's see how much this does. Maybe the almighty damage increase is gonna be good enough.
制裁の時間だ。
Yeah.
倒れさせない。
Yeah.
ありがとう。癒しの力よ。
There you go. Yeah, hit Marion. Yeah, that's the one. Do it again. No, no, no. Okay. Cohesion gives us the damage up for the rest of the fight now. Skill 1.
どんなショーになるのかな。楽しみ。
This increases damage taken by 1% per 5, so it goes up to 26.4. Or up to 35% if it freezes. I'll just take the 31. I'll take the guarantee. It's safer.
お仕置きの時間です。行くぞジュスティーナ。すぐに排除します。 続けます。お願い、タレイヤ。来て、ペルソナ。褒めてやる。感謝します。ダメダメですね。ぬるいぬるい。
All damage. So we just do Mataru. Let's go 3.
ここは私に任せて。最高のショー見せてあげる。
I think this one does more. I'm not very familiar with Phoebe, sorry.
よいしれなさい。ペルソナ。行くぞジュスティーナ。すぐに排除します。制裁の時間だ。治療の時間ね。タレイヤ。しっかり敵がダウン。追撃しようか。 もう一度だ。どんなショーになるのかな。
I mean, that was fine. Neither one of those attempts were like anything special, but it should keep me in the tier, hopefully. Yeah, because both of those attempts were pretty weak. Yeah, 17%. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, see, they're just straight up buffing the twins with Wind and Cord in round 1, and then using the Curse Team in round 2. That might not actually be real. They would have used Turbo here. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. Like I said, I can come back and play with this more afterwards too. That's not the end of the world. I'm satisfied with that for now. Yeah, having to cast that manually reduces a lot of your damage. What? You're over me being in here, huh? What if I'm over you? What did you think about that? Psych, Nuke, Bless, and Curse ally. Final damage is increased by 60% other than Wonder. Fire, Ice, Electric, and Wind. All out attack. We can use Turbo here. Now he's used melee or ranged attack. Final damage is increased by 100%. Fire team here, probably, with Yao Ling. When the boss, at the end of the boss's turn, all allies are. Oh, we need Marion for this one. Good afternoon, Moonspell. Hope you're doing well. So we have to heal. We have to remove the debuff there, right? Multi-hit, so probably wind damage on that one for single target as well. Okay, looks like we've got a decent look here. So let's just let's go into this. Let's do Psych, Bless, Nuke, Curse. Is there any Almighty? I should check that really quick. Highlight, final damage is increased by, okay. This one's Almighty. Okay, so we want to make sure we have the twins for at least that. I went pretty good. We ended up coming up with a low budget team that can survive the stage 5 flare nuke, which is pretty cool. It doesn't like deal a ton of damage, but it can at least survive. So for folks that don't have reprieve, there's at least an option, which is you know, something I wasn't expecting, and I can appreciate. I think we can pretty freely just go Haru, like just our normal psych team here. Do I even need Cord for this fight? Probably not. I think I might bring her anyway. Let's see if we can do it with Leon. Oh, I didn't give myself any personas. Lamau. It's doing a bit better today than it was yesterday, but basically ever since I've had the MRI, my chest and my shoulder have been flared. I appreciate you asking. It's just the psych team, right? So it'd be Dionysus, Shiva, right? Yeah. And Dominion, I guess. Sure. And then Starry Compass. There we go. Yeah. Yep. One. God, the Persona soundtracks are so good. Ay, ay, ay. This should be easy. Go get him, Haru. I probably need to give Leo some cards, huh? I think he only has 5,000 HP. That probably needs to improve. My bad. Yo.
夏にできないプラシメラ海風に乗せてみんなに届け年寄りに手を上げるなんて
And then Haru's gonna shoot him with her gun. He does need to learn how to dodge, I agree. Oh. That was easy. Alright, next. Probably just the fire team here, right? Could do ice too if we really wanted to be cheeky with it, but I don't think it's necessary. I guess I could use, yeah, you know what? We haven't used Yusuke in a while. Why not? What is it? Yusuke, Soy. Probably don't need a Navi here either, honestly. And then we'll do Ex Machina, I think. Probably the best option here. We'll do our 2 shielders and then we're good. Yep. Oh, I used the wrong one. I assume mine's better than the try one. Maybe the try one. Can I see what the try one's got? Or is it just gonna show me what mine is? Doesn't really help me. Doesn't. Okay, I'm just gonna use mine. Yeah, isn't that a cool hat? It's dope. This persona's pretty cool too. Fight me, nerds. No shock. Should be fine still. That was not a lot of damage. Nani? Oh gosh. Alright, let's go on. I love hats. Oh yeah, we should be fine. Let's go. Oh, great news. All of the Persona games, like the actual vanilla games, they're all in English. This is the only one that I've played that does not have English voice cast. Probably just Yukumi's here. Increase Yusuke's defense by a bit. And then back to cooking. Didn't knock down Yusuke? Oh, he got lucky and crit. There go all my counter attacks. That's unlucky. We should win. Nani? I'm trying to think. I think the only game that I've played like purposefully in Japanese was Yakuza. And this is no shade to the English voice cast of Yakuza, who I think did a great job. I started the Yakuza series in Japanese, and I got so used to the voices in Japanese that it was just like, it was hard. It was hard to switch to that, you know what I mean? I've heard good things about Zack's voice actor in Japanese. Damage here. Kato, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. Oh, maybe. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Ah. Come on, tell me that does it. Damn. No, we gotta restart that. I'm not gonna lose it with 1 HP. All right. Yeah, 1 HP. That ain't happening. I don't have a lot of investment in this team because it's how do I say this? It's bad. So it's not a surprise that we lost that. Let's just we'll just use the fire team instead. It's fine. It's no big deal. It was pretty close, but okay. This should go quickly. Yeah, I feel that. I should probably just heal here, right? God, I hate Key. God, I think we just wait and just use hers when she gets back up. We'll delay it a turn here. And for what it's worth, by the way, this game is fully subtitled for the actual like gameplay portions of it. It's just the fights that it's not subtitled. When an ally activates an all-out attack, increase final damage by 100%. Sure. Let's do the curse team with turbo then. Yeah.
ド暴れしますよ。任せて。
Oh yeah, right. Because these guys are all speed. Duh. Okay. Yep. Okay. Go.
行くぞ。気を抜くな。ピティス。仕掛けるよ。千金の一撃。大した。
Watch me learn Japanese. I don't know if you want to watch me learn Japanese, but like, hey. I'd be down to learn a new language. Shoot. I wanted to reach out to somebody and see if I could like read a book on stream. I thought that would be fun. Ow.
ダウンした者がいる。戦力がそがれた。ギア上げてくよ。来なさい。ピティス。私がついてるから。ハイライトだ。可及的速やかに戦闘を終わらせるぞ。ピティス。最短距離で突っ走る。
Yeah, read a book on stream in Japanese. Yeah. No 3 languages. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, learning other languages is cool. Doesn't seem like this team's gonna work. Might need to bring a navigator to this one. That's great. Ah, damn. I was hoping that would get it. It's okay if turbo goes down here if we're still able to win. It looks like it's going to be pretty close. Went on Ren. If this goes into Wonder, we should be okay. Oh, no. Daily. I think we're cooked. Unless Wonder crits on our Sun Chains. Ah, damn, so close. Okay. How much HP does he have left? 10,000? I think that's a little too high. I don't think Tatra Shot's gonna do that much. I can try. Oh, it did. Sick. Okay, we got it. That was close. Yeah, read left, right to left. Yeah, yeah. I've read translated mangas before. A braille monitor, yeah. Learn all the languages. Melee or ranged attacks. I guess this would just be the fire team again, yeah? Resonance, wonder damage. Thank you. One effect. All foes' max HP is decreased by 50%. At the end of each turn, all foes' HP is restored by 10% of their max HP. All foes' final damage taken is increased based on their current missing HP. Final damage taken is increased by up to a maximum of 40% when below 20% HP. Okay. That was a lot of words. I'm just going to use the fire team here. Do I want to start using the twins here? I probably should. Instead of Key. And then maybe we bring Phoebe to this one. And that. Oh, let's be greedy. Oh, that's cool. This song is so sick. Ooh, remember when I said let's be greedy? Bad call. Immediate regret. Ah, just focus on damage. 1337. Let's go. Ignore the last 7. Not important. I should have healed this turn. Really good damage though. Okay. Just not into Matoy. Okay. Bad. Okay, no, it's fine. We're good. Yeah, we're good. It's, yeah. Karakunda. Fire. Go 1. Go 1. There's no way Matoy survives here. Nope. That sucks. If we would have gotten Matoy to that last turn, I think we win like 100%, but it's going to be pretty close now. Heal to be on the safe side. Trying to take out the minion here. I think this last slash would have killed with the Matoy skill 3, but without it, I think we might be a little short on damage. We'll kill the minion for sure, and maybe our Archangel on the side, but oh, we got him. Okay, great. Hey, just in, she's real good. Okay. We'll probably do these ones last because these ones hurt my brain. So we'll go to those last. Let's go to the left first. This one we need Marion, so this is going to be a blessed team. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the main route. My fault. We'll go this way then. This is just a single target fight. What main route? Is this the main route? Leave me alone. Gosh, everybody's a critic. I usually use the twins with these. I probably want to keep the twins for the Kasumi team. So let's just do Marion here. And then Taba? Question mark? I guess we can use Phoebe for this one too.
オーダーはフィービーでいいんだね。
And then we lead with. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm not using. Oh, I guess I am still using And then wherever she's at, there. Ex Machina. Yep. Okay. Good.
状態は
リードは私に任せて。
Go 3 on to
今ここに。
Monk. We use
ナルキスタス
Spike. Yeah, we want one swept on.
おいで。
Go 3.
逃げたつもり。
Wop.
最高の一撃決まっちゃったね。
And then just skill 1 for blessing. You eat that, right? Hell yeah.
私もいけるよ。最高のショー見せてあげる。さあ出番よ。裏に強め。
Let's go 1.
受けてみなさい。どんなショーになるのかな。楽しみ。
So Persona has different themes for all of the games. The 3 main games, or at least the 3 modern games, I suppose is the better way to phrase it, is Persona 3, 4, and 5. All of them have different themes, like the thing that they are they're based on. So like Persona 3, as an example, is I think just like facing death in general, like facing death in general. Like the Persona users use fake handguns to like execute themselves in order to use the they don't actually execute themselves, but like to use their personas though. In Persona 4, they're all facing their own inner demons, their own inner doubts, the things that they like refuse to admit, right? So like there's one there where a person is like scared to show that they have an effeminate side. There's a character that is afraid for people to know that they're actually a female. You know, things like that. So they're fighting their own inner demons in Persona 4. Persona 5 is very much like taking down like the monsters, like people that are monsters, and changing their hearts and forcing them to like see the error of their ways. But like all 3 of those games have like underlying different themes of like, you know, some type of like social structure thing. And I think it does, all 3 of them do a really good job personally. 3, 4, and 5 I think all do a good job. But yeah, which one's your favorite? It's kind of like Final Fantasy in a way where like I think if you're the first one you play is probably going to be your favorite. So whichever one you think would be the most fun is probably going to be the most fun. Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Royal are both like really easy to play in terms of like they've been modernized, have a lot of like modern gameplay mechanics added. And then Persona 4 is getting a remake anyway, so you can actually play those 2 while you're waiting for Persona 4 to come out. But all of them are great games, is the truth. And while I'm confident that I did not do a great job giving it justice, like what the actual themes are behind those games, they are all very good video games, and you should absolutely consider playing them. Especially because they go on sales for super cheap pretty often. Actually, I think Persona 3 Reload's on sale right now. There is no bias in my statement at all. Final Fantasy VII is the best. Fine. Yeah, I can do that too. Sounds silly, doesn't it?
ペルソナ
You should consider that.
スラオシャ受けてみろ
It's just staring at me. Oh, well, see, there you go. Scientifically proven. Mooseball was right. I really like the remake games. I think they're great. I enjoy the remake games a lot. I know that that's not everybody's opinion in the Final Fantasy community, but for me in particular, I'm a big fan of those games. I think the only Final Fantasy game that I had like heavy criticisms towards was I was not a fan of the way that Final Fantasy 16 ended. No spoilers or anything, obviously, but like I was not a huge fan of the ending, even though I understand like blah 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 blah, blah, you know, whatever, right? Again, no spoilers. And Final Fantasy 2 I thought was a pretty weak entry. I think Final Fantasy 2 is a really interesting game, and I think the gameplay was trying something new, and I just don't think it hit. But like when I say that I was not a huge fan of Final Fantasy 2, I'm thinking like it was a 7 out of 10, where I think the rest of the Final Fantasy series doesn't ever really go below an 8 for me. Because like the rest of them are all pretty special games overall, especially in the time like when Final Fantasy 1 came out and it was basically Dungeons and Dragons but with a magic like in the Final Fantasy like flavor. I really enjoyed that game. I like that game a lot. That's okay, Alder. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's the old heads, right, Moosewell? Like it's the old heads. It's the people that, you know, want to keep like the sanctity of the old combat style, the old plot, things like that, all of that intact for this new experience. And in fairness, Square didn't give them the best representation of what they were trying to do with the remake project with calling it remake. So like I definitely understand the criticisms from folks like wanting the pure, it's exactly the same 1-to-1. I'm gonna tell you right now, if it was 1-to-1, there is no chance I would have played those games. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, like, because to me that's just a remaster. Like you can doll it up and give it a whole bunch of cutscenes and give it voice acting and such, and that's no better than a remaster for me. So and it would have been still been fun, but they would have Delta is exactly where I was going. Yep. If they would have charged $70 for something that like Delta was, like Metal Gear Solid Delta, I would have never played it. It is, yeah. And there are ways for them to still make it work, right? Like Expedition 33 is a perfect example of how turn-based can still work in today's gaming era. So there are ways to, and Persona is too, to be honest. I don't want to take away from Persona either. Persona has done a great job with their games and keeping the rock, paper, scissors, you know, turn-based system still work in the 21st century. So there are ways to make it work, and I do think that Square does make it work still, because they've made it work with Octopath Traveler, right? Octopath Traveler is a great game, and it works just fine. So there are ways to make it work. There are ways to like, and Bravely Default too. I consistently, that's the word I'm looking for, consistently forget about Bravely Default. Bravely Default 1 and 2 are both great games. Neither one of them are perfect. There's flaws, but like both of those games are super fun, and they're both turn-based and they work out really well. And Bravely Default's job-based too. So if you like Final Fantasy 5 or Final Fantasy 3, Bravely Default's a great game. Super fun. But yeah, I love what they've done with the remake series. I do. I think Remake and Rebirth is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, period. I had a great time with that experience. That game, it took me 110 hours to get through my first playthrough of Rebirth, and it didn't feel like it at all. It was dope. Octodad, yeah. Yeah, Octopath Traveler is super fun. I really enjoy Octopath Traveler. The first one is definitely not a perfect game by any sense, but the second game, I think they've improved. They improved quite a bit. And Octopath Traveler 0 is also really fun. And I was sponsored for a little Octopath Traveler video too, so we were able to do Octopath Traveler 0 from Square, which was really cool. It was really cool. Yeah, that's the best part about the remake series, right? Regardless of how you feel about like what they're doing with the plot and how they're like messing around with like the timelines and whatever, right? Again, I'm trying not to spoil anything for folks that haven't played it yet. Regardless of how you feel about that, the way that the characters interact, to put it in perspective, in Final Fantasy VII OG, I could not have given less of a shit about Cait Sith at all. And in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, he's actually one of my favorite characters. Like he is the way that they have written Cait Sith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was so much better and so far improved. And like, that's actually something that I have a complaint about with Resident Evil 4 OG to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Because in Resident Evil 4 Remake, you didn't get a lot of the banter and a lot of the interactions between Leon and the antagonist. And so by the time you get to the end of Resident Evil 4 Remake, I don't even know who Sadler is in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Like, he is in that game for such a small amount of time that he is almost irrelevant. So by the time you get to that point in the game, you're just like, ah, man, like, I don't even care anymore. Like, Krauser was the big antagonist in Resident Evil 4 Remake. But Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth do a great job of, like, the character interactions, the cutscenes, the individual, like, relationships that all the characters have, all of the little side quests you can do that, like, improve your relationship with those characters, and how that impacts the game too. It's just so well done. So well done. Right, yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like, the truth is that they've done a really great job in the remake series of, like, improving that portion of it, to Kyoto's point. And that's something that I think is at least worth respecting and having fun with, right? At least in my opinion. This one's a Wonder DPS one, which I haven't done with Wonder for a while, so let's see how this goes. I think the U2 are probably my highest attack. I think Alice is up there too. 241, 239, 295. That's way higher. Yes, Gold Saucer in Remake is very well done. Yeah, I agree. I think Janosik is at like 300 something, right? Yeah. Okay. This is our team. Yep. Okay, great. Perfect. And then we bring in Cord, we bring in Tempest Rico, and we bring in probably just Marion again, honestly, just to be on the safe side. And then I think this is probably one where we want Futaba to try to increase our DPS here. We go Abyss Fang for DPS. Did I don't remember if I got the last shard for Abyss Fang or not. Let's find out. Yeah, Dio is super cool. Yeah. Queen's Blood is also really fun. Yeah, I keep hoping that they'll eventually put that into Ever Crisis as like a mini game. I know again that's not something that everybody is excited about, but like, man, game's fun. I don't know. All right, so that should be fine though. R5 should be fine. Okay, let's go. Oh, but the problem here is that Cord gives all of her bonuses to Marion. I have to change this. I'm going to use what's her name? Yeah, to make sure that Wonder is last. I didn't have to. Okay, good. Yeah, all the card games in a Final Fantasy game are generally good, for sure. I even enjoyed the what was it, Tetra Break in Final Fantasy 9. Like, I didn't enjoy it as much as, or Tetra Master rather, whatever it's called. But I obviously the oh my god, I've forgotten the name of the game in Final Fantasy 8. Triple Triad. I would have never lived it down. I would have never lived that down, dude. But yeah, if all of the Final Fantasy card games have been dope. They've been very fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. I think our objective here is just make sure that Wonder does as much damage as possible, right? So let's just make him do more damage. Wow. Look at Wonder go. I may have not even need Futaba. I think they're dead, like on this turn. It's gonna be close. Well, yeah, maybe I'm a little overzealous. It's not gonna be quite that good. Whoosh. Again? Damn. Damn. That's your way guitar. You can't lose. It's true. It's true. Yeah, having Futaba in this fight was overkill. I did not need Futaba here. Wonder's about to hit like a truck. I think this attack's about to do over 250,000 damage. If they even survive, yeah. Let's see if they survive the sparks. Oh, they do. Okay. Last me season. And then guess what? We skill 1 again. Yeah, that was going to do a lot of damage. We did not need to bring Futaba there. That was overkill. That's okay, though. Okay, Fate Stella. This is allies highlight. Final damage is increased by 100%, but it feels 20% slower. So we want Cord for this. This is just the blessed team, right? Really. And I think we can probably get away with Phoebe here, honestly. Let's do Glimmer. And oh, I have to do her first though, right? Dominion has to be first, otherwise I'm gonna go last. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. And then this needs to be Sinuk. Good. Okay, let's Rakunda. Just notes. We don't need to do this, but it's just better for the rotation. Oh, boy. They get a big shield. Let's go 1. And then we invitation. Nothing. Weak. This song is so good. Okay, distortion. Take a shock. Okay, and now every attack that twins use, she follows up with her own little Cinderella glow. Bop. And then again. Bop. And then one more. It's fine. Okay. Just increase the damage as much as possible here. Gear up. Skill 3 into Violet. Who's going to use that in the boss? And it's going to do 1,000,000 damage. Never mind, it did 300,000. Still a lot. And then we're going to do this. Fine. And then highlight again. It's almost dead. Midnight Magic is dead. Done. Yeah, I'm sure they're like, I am expecting this last game in the remake series. I expect that this game will be one of the best Final Fantasy games we've ever played. I think, and this is an unfortunate side effect of of the expectations that have been lauded about this game. I'm expecting that, like, the amount of resources and the amount of dedication and time and love that's been put into this series, I'm expecting the Opus to be like something that we've never experienced before, right? I'm expecting to get emotional. I'm expecting to like have this be like a life-changing experience. I'm expecting this game to like blow me away, essentially. And they have set this up by themselves, by the way. Like, they have set the expectations so high. They have set it so high. All right, so here we're gonna use AoE Bless with Marion. I'm just gonna use Summer Closer. And then I want to save the last two twins uses for later. So let's bring in probably Turbo. And then we'll do Wind here. Get our stuff on. We want Dominion, Dionysus, and I guess probably Cert, huh? Just Marakunda. Just fine. And then Glimmer. Yep, okay, let's do it. Shockwave. Rebellion into Summer Closer. We don't have any of those debuffs yet, so let's just nurse his light for now. And then skill 3. Ow. Skill 1. Defense down. Let's get our 2 turns in. This is going to be a big turn. Okay, and then probably Cohesion here. Well, yeah, and again, I'm trying not to get into spoilers, right? Because there's some folks that haven't played it yet. But I don't have any strong opinions on it, to be honest. Like I said, I actually like where the game is going overall, and I'm pretty excited to see how things go. You're good. It's okay. Yes, Crisis Core is a fantastic experience. Fantastic. And in fairness, if you're playing Ever Crisis and you finish the stories, you've probably already gotten the gist of like the Crisis Core plot anyways. Because I think it's completely out now, right? The Crisis Core recap. Yeah, Crisis Core is done. Well, that's a shame. They shouldn't. Oh, I'm supposed to heal that turn. Whoopsie doodle. Fine. Well, and that's the thing. I think he would just get a second one. His limit break is already better than I think most of the rest of the limit breaks in the game, because it has Enfeeble on it and it's such a low charge speed. So I'm not too pressed about him getting like the quantity, right? I'm fine with him having just like 1 or 2 good, like really good limit breaks. But yeah, the next time they raise the level cap, I imagine we'll be getting 4th limit breaks.
するとドミニオンこれでどうだ
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Or if they did, it would be considerably different. Yeah, no, I sincerely doubt that. I think it's more likely they're gonna give him torpor. That's where my head's at. We'll see if that ends up coming to fruition or not, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not clicking that one. There we go. This is the wind team, right? I can actually bring Lorette here too. Machina. I don't think they would do something like that. For I dare say obvious reasons, but yeah, I doubt it. But yeah, I do expect that what am I missing here? For the wind team? Just Rakunda, I guess. I guess I'll just bring here. I don't know. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I just don't know who it is. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. And never say never, right? We never know what's going to happen at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, if they did something like that with because they did that with Renoa too, right? Where she was with her limit break in Final Fantasy VIII, where she got the angel wings and then she got to do a whole bunch of casting. It wouldn't be like beyond them to do something similar for Sephiroth and Ever Crisis. Should be okay. I'm glad I brought Futaba to this fight though. This guy's tanky. You know, I should have brought the that blast unit. That increases highlight damage. That's okay. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. So, it makes sense. Oop. Didn't need Futaba for that fight either. Alright, the last two were uses of Futaba I want to use in the last two fights. Activates a technical, so this would be the fire team. I'll probably just bring on two, honestly. And then we're gonna use Futaba here. And then it's Throne, you, and you. Yep, cert. With Ex Machina. Yeah. Just go one to lower their attack because we don't have a reliable heal in this fight. Damage isn't too high. We should be okay. Okay, we'll play safe here because these guys are doing like, there's 4 characters doing damage, so let's heal. Again, just playing it safe. You don't want things to go down. Skill 3. And then these two just got to go all in. We use Rin's first because she's ready to go right now. Really good damage. Falling Sun. Should be fine. That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, we should be okay. Data link. Now they'll be weak to fire, so we can knock them down this turn. Do we want Purifying Flames again? No, right? No, we want a Disaster Ward here. Skill 1. Skill 1. Okay, skill 3. Get a couple of follow-up attacks here. Should be able to knock a wall down. We can get an all-out attack. Then we get the 2 follow-up attacks. Didn't kill. Okay. Should be fine here as long as the single target attacks all don't go into Matoi. Hit Wonder. Shit. I think, yeah, she's done. Hopefully these 2 attacks are enough to knock it out. Not gonna be enough. I think they die here. Matoi going down there is unlucky. I'm probably just gonna have to re-roll this until Matoi doesn't get KO'd. Yeah. Because we would have had a shield this turn with the heal, then they would have survived. It's bad luck. Because this isn't going to be enough damage with the Futaba and the skill 1. I could just finish it in the second attempt, like it's not the end of the world, but I'd like to get it in one if I can. That's an unfortunate knockdown too. So yeah, it's just bad luck here. Just have to redo on it. Yep, and that'll kill Rin. So that's the end. Yep. Okay. I'll do the rest of this offline. Ain't the end of the world. Oh, my shoulder's starting to hurt anyways. Oh. But yeah, I just have to rerun that a couple of times until I get lucky with the with who they target. What is this? Oh, cool. The Thieves Den here. Think of this like the High Wind in Ever Crisis. Basically the same thing. It's just in my opinion, objectively cooler. Because instead of it just being the High Wind, it's a decoratable area where you can customize the music, who you're like running around the area as. You can get a whole bunch of like memory pictures that go up on the sides here. You can see the gallery's got a whole bunch of like artwork. And you can actually view the gallery too, which is really neat. It's got a bunch of like old promotional arts and stuff too. Pretty neat, yeah. Rewatch cutscenes. Yeah, and then there's a jukebox over here where you can actually change like what song's playing in the background too, which is dope. Yeah, otherwise it's the same exact thing. It's as you level things up and get your rating up, you get like all these bonuses, and you can see like all the list of this is all the stuff that we're getting, which is cool. And then you can see whatever all the other level ups do. adds up a lot over time. Kind of like the high wind, right? You only get like 0.1% for physical attack when you level up one thing, but then if you level up 6 of them, then it gives you 0.6 and blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Same concept. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, man. It's not a dig at Ever Crisis because I love Ever Crisis. I have a lot of fun with that game, but Persona 5: The Phantom X is a very, very cool video game. They've done a really good job at this game. I like it quite a bit. But anyway, that's going to do it for me for today, folks. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to be live again later tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. So if you're interested in coming and checking that out, make sure you pop on by. For folks that are watching the VOD here, make sure you check out the Twitch channel. It's in the description down below. Or you can check it on my profile. The link's right under the top part where it says G Monday. That has all my links there, including social media, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, whole 9 yards. But I appreciate y'all being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good luck with your guild battle attempts if I don't see it tonight. If you aren't able to make it tonight, as always, I'll keep the I'll get those official attempts uploaded up probably tomorrow morning at some point. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And we'll go over all the same stuff that we did today, where I talk about, you know, the low budget team. We'll talk about the high build, like we're using Zach and all that. We'll go over all the details and such. But I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, we'll see you again in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.